going to hire Ime Udoka as their head coach. This after parting ways with Steve Nash Tuesday. Udoka currently suspended from the Celtics for the season, but of course he did lead Boston all the way to the finals last year. He's no stranger to the Durant and Irving Nets. He was their assistant coach in the 2020-2021 season. So Shannon, given the familiarity, can Ime save the Nets season?
Save them from themselves, huh? Skip, look, I understand Ime he's a tremendous coach, and I thought he should have been, coach of the year last year. He did an unbelievable job changing the mindsets of the Celtics and what they were. But Skip, I just don't see. You tell me that KD, Kyrie are going to ever lock it down on defense. We saw Jason Tatum last night. I don't know if you watched the game. I watched the game. In a game that had Defensive Player of the Year Marcus Smart, in a game that had Jared Allen, Jason Tatum was the best defensive player on the court last night. The best. He blocked Donovan Mitchell's shot to send it to overtime. Mm-hmm. Blocked the 3 additional shots. And is KD going to lock it down like that in the corner? Mm-hmm. Skip. We keep forgetting that Ben Simmons had back surgery. Ben Simmons stiffer than a fence post right now. Mm. Straight up and down. Now there's rumors swirling around. They might be looking to trade Ben Simmons.
Maybe.
Kyrie loves being coached by every coach until the coach actually coaches. And then he wanted Brad Stevens as his coach. Got to run a system. Mm. He didn't want Ty Lue. Ty Lue, you love Ty Lue. I love Ty Lue. Think he one of the best coaches in the NBA. He didn't want that. He wanted to go to Brad Stevens. I want to run a system. Got to Brad Stevens. He didn't want to be there. Kenny Atkinson, what do you do? One can't get gone. Steve Nash, he's like, we don't even need no coach. Mm. KD could be a coach. We're going to change the way you think of coaches.
Yep.
So he's that guy. He always wants something until he gets it, and then all of a sudden he doesn't want it anymore. Mm. I just don't know. I just think the thing is that when you look at what he did with the Celtics, Jason Tatum was 24, Brown's 26, Grant Williams 23, all those guys, Robert Williams, Marcus Smart, all of those guys are young. They're not superstars. They're not setting their ways. So it was easy. KD not going to play defense like they play like Tatum. Mm. I don't believe Ben Simmons can play that kind of defense anymore, Skip, because of that back. Skip, he doesn't even look, he doesn't even move the same as he did before he had that back surgery. And then the demons. He's going to need to be more than a coach to get Ben Simmons to play up to the level that you think he can play at. He's going to need to be a psychiatrist also.
Okay. Before I answer Jen's question, quick aside, yes, I was watching that game, but I was focused on Darius Garland's return from injury because he scored 29. And by the way, he went to Vanderbilt University.
Whatever.
Basketball powerhouse, Vanderbilt University. They're everywhere. Every time you turn around, there's another Vandy kid.
Cleveland with those 3 guards.
I'm just saying.
Donovan Mitchell, and Karis LeVert. Oh, you know what, Skip? Guess what Karis LeVert used to be? In Brooklyn, along with Jared Allen, along with Spencer Dinwiddie.
Oh, he got traded for.
James Harden. You give up 3 Skip. You give up 3 unprotected first-round picks, 4 pick swaps. Mm-hmm. Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, Taurean Prince.
Yep.
And they talk about Anthony. They're talking about the Pelicans robbed the Lakers. Mm-hmm. The Lakers has gotten a championship out of Anthony Davis.
They have.
They've gotten nothing out of the James Harden, and James Harden has since moved on.
Okay, I'm going to give you 3 reasons.
Okay.
Why I believe that Ime can save the Nets, which might be the tallest challenge in the history of basketball.
Okay.
Right? Okay, first of all, let's start with Ben Simmons. Weirdly, he tried to get out from under the pop domain because he was seen as just, sort of sitting at the left hand of God the Father Almighty. And so everybody said, well, Pop's doing it. Ime's not doing anything.
Right.
I kept saying, I don't know about that. I think he's doing a whole lot behind the scenes.
Right.
He's helping coach 3 superstars, but one of them's the easiest to coach in the history of basketball, Tim Duncan. Okay, so the point is, he left to go to Philadelphia, and he got to coach Ben Simmons on defense for a whole season.
Right.
So they connected. So he has rapport with him that doesn't have to be established over a season. He won't need, because he's getting thrown into the fire right here early in the season.
Okay.
He won't need this year to get to know Ben Simmons. He already knows Ben Simmons. Right. And I think Ben will respond to him. You could be right about the back surgery. It just could be debilitating, not to mention the demons, to where he's just going to be shell of self and he's not worth the
man's been there a year and there are already rumors about him being traded.
I got it. I don't even know what you could get for him at this point, but because he hasn't proven anything. But whatever you can get out of Ben Simmons right now, I promise you Ime will get it out of him.
Okay.
Then I saw some quotes the other day.
Okay.
That in the year that he spent. Remember, he was a Nets assistant coach, right?
Yes,
Under Steve Nash.
Yes.
That I'm just paraphrasing it was an anonymous quote from an insider source, that he was not afraid, Ime wasn't afraid to challenge both KD and Kyrie, and that they allowed him to coach them in ways Steve Nash couldn't. Okay, I believe that is significant because he was there for a whole year as an assistant in Brooklyn.
Right.
And help me out. What happened at the end of that year? Well, they made a run because they're up against the team that's about to win the NBA championship, the Milwaukee Bucks. And in a game 7 at Brooklyn, it comes down to one shot of shots and a toenail is on the line from 3, or we might be having a very different conversation right now.
Well, the conversation that we're having is Johnny put foots in KD.
Well, it looked like Kevin just put his foot right on the line, or he would have put foots in Giannis. Barely. There's a left little toenail on the line, and he drains one of the great clutch shots you'll ever see.
All I saw was
to
this.
win
Watch
Game
the referee.
7.
Watch the referee.
Win Game 7.
Is that Kane Fitzgerald? Or Jason Goble?
No,
That's one of them. All I know is watch his hands. Now, at no point in time should you have thought that was a 3.
I told you I didn't watch the referee.
I did.
I rolled on the floor because I said KD did it again. He clutched up and won Game 7.
And then what'd he do?
You realize that's game over.
OT.
That shot.
In OT.
He ran out of gas, hit the wall. But remember, Ime was part of that team, and it was playing at a much higher level than certainly this year's team, right?
Yeah.
So he knows what that felt like, and I do believe they will respond to him in ways that Steve Nash could never dreamed of getting them to respond to him.
Can I ask you a question, though, Skip? Of qualified players, KD had the 4th worst defensive rating. Mm-hmm. Guess who has the worst defensive rating? The guy that you said won 2-time All-NBA defense.
Mm-hmm. First team.
Ben Simmons.
Yep.
Okay. Who's going to be the leader? At some point in time, you get skipped. If you look at any animal key, there's a leader. I want to know who's going to be the leader of the Brooklyn Nets.
Ime Udoka.
No, this is not going to work. Mm. You cannot have a championship caliber team without some player being the leader. Mm. Holding other guys accountable can't always be the coach. Mm. That's why, Skip, if you only work from 9 to 5, you'll never be great at any job. Mm. You got to be willing to do more than you're asked to do. So now, again, Kevin Durant, when guys are out of line, when guys are not doing, will you hold them accountable, or you say, I'm not here to babysit. I'm just here to hoop.
Mm. Okay, here's the final cachet that Ime brings back into that locker room. What did he do in Boston? He created a defensive monster that devoured these Brooklyn Nets in the first round. So they know in their heart of hearts, he was the architect of that monster that ate them alive. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's cachet. That's respect.
Yeah.
Steve Nash had no respect. He'd never coached a lick in his life.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. They don't have the personnel to do that. Everybody can't run Kansas City's offense because they don't have Patrick Mahomes. They don't have the personnel. Everybody can't run the Ravens defense or the Seattle's defense because they don't have the personnel. KD is 34, Kyrie is 30, 32-year-old Seth Curry, 31-year-old Joe Harris, 34-year-old Patty Mills. The Celtics doesn't have anybody that plays defense that's older than 28. That's Marcus Smart. Who's going to play defense?
So you think Ime is going to turn this job down because he says can't win?
No, Skip. The mere fact that he could possibly have another job in and of itself is a huge accomplishment. Damn where it is. If it's an NBA job in Siberia, he should go take it. The mere fact that he's going to get a job, because think about it, Skip, they thought what he did was serious enough they suspended him for a year. Maybe it should have been just an HR a deal, and we never hear about it. But for some reason, we heard about this. Yeah. This is the first time I've ever heard about a workplace situation, an affair at a workplace situation, Skip, in the history. Unless, you hear lawsuits and things come out like that, and then we hear about things like that. But never like how this was exposed. Well, this was breaking news, Skip. Okay. Oh, Ime Udoka is going to be suspended for the year for what? I don't know, but we'll get back to you on that one.
I know, but in this day and age, it's with a subordinate.
Yeah,
and you can't do it.
I know.
You're out.
But, Skip, I'm saying, I believe in other sports places this has happened. Yeah. It's an HR issue, and quietly they handle whatever needs to be handled. Maybe. It doesn't become fodder.
Yeah. Well, I think he takes this job, and I think he takes them up a whole nother level.
Defensively. You think they're going to be a better defense?
Kevin Durant will and can play defense.
No, he's a help defender. You see Jason Tatum? Do you see JT?
Oh, no, he can play.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
And they doing it. No Robert Williams. Imagine when they get Robert Williams back. They're going to own them again.
They're going to miss Ime.
Celtics will own Brooklyn again.
We'll see.
Own them again.
All right. It might not be this year, but next year you better look out.
I mean, you do realize, like, Kevin is not going, he's not Benjamin Button. He's not going to go 34, 33, 32, 31, 30. He's going the other way, 35, 36,
does it
37.
look like he's gained any weight to you?
No, hey, Skip, all I know is those 30 points don't have the same impact.
Really?
You know, when you're a boxer, one punch, you will knock a guy out, and all of a sudden you got to put together 5, 6 punches. All I know is those 30-point performances, they don't have the same impact. Normally when Kevin Durant scores 30, he's a +8, +10. Now all of a sudden he's scoring 35, 39. He -6, he -8. He being outscored, he getting those 30, but he's outscored when he on the court. I'm just saying.
What happened when Seth comes back and